They tell me it's the city of Dawson.
Is it the city of Dawson or Dawson City?
The official name under the Municipal Act is the city of Dawson.
So you are a city.
No. Well, we used to be. I mean, Dawson was upwards of 30,000 people at one time.
No.
Yeah. At the turn
once the gold mine...
At the turn of the century, everybody came there because of the gold.
And then people just started leaving.
And they started leaving, and then later Dawson was the capital of the Yukon
up
until 1953, and then it shifted into Whitehorse.
Do you still hold grudges about that?
No, that's fine. They can have it.
Okay. Awesome. Welcome to Cross Border Interviews, the show where we dive into the insights of municipal political leaders from across Canada. Now, this show is all about two things. One, getting to know the amazing communities all across this country, and two, speaking directly to those who spend their days around the council table doing the work to make those places what they are. And for today's episode, we recently attended the 50th anniversary of the Association of Yukon Communities in Haines Junction, Yukon, where we sat down and chatted with Dawson City Mayor Stephen Johnson. Across Canada, our cities, towns, villages, and rural communities are alive with stories waiting to be told. Stories of innovation and economic development, resilience in the face of the housing challenges, and the financial hurdles municipalities overcome every day. At the Cross Border Network, we bring these stories to life. From coast to coast to coast, we're connecting Canadians to the issues shaping our communities and showcasing the people working tirelessly to make them thrive. With your support, we can expand our reach, amplify more voices, and shine a light on the challenges and triumphs of municipal life. For as little as $3.99 a month, you can help us grow and continue sharing the stories that matter most. Join us today and be part of this important mission. Together, we can tell more stories, build stronger communities, and make a real difference. Support the Cross Border Network now. Visit www.crossborderinterviews.ca today. Stephen, thank you so much for sitting down with me and talking about yourself. I want to start, if you don't mind, by getting to know a little bit about you.
Sure.
Where did your sense of duty to serve your community come from?
Well, I saw the things that were going on in the community, and as a professional engineer, retired status right now, I figured that I could help out with the experience that I have, my life experience, number one. I've lived all over the world. Well, not quite all over the world, but certainly across Canada and in England and Germany. Ended up in North Manitoba, where I went to high school and then down to Queen's University, where I took my engineering. And just been in mining across Canada and down into the United States. So I've got a lot of experience that way.
Was mom and dad political?
No, they weren't political. But because I have all this time in my hands, being 100% retired and doing planning, I figured, maybe I could step up and help out. Underline help with my experience.
And what was it about the municipal political arena that you wanted to get into? Because as a retiree, a quote-unquote retiree, with all the time on the hands, you could have gone territorial, you could have gone federal.
Oh, no.
But you went municipal. Why was it
Not a chance in hell would I go federal or territorial.
Okay.
I've been married this year 51 years to the most wonderful person in the world. And if I wanted to get a divorce, that'd be a great way to do it. So no, thank you. Municipal means I'm just there in the community and helping out where I can. And, the community is really important to me. We came to Dawson City. I came as a new hire at Brewery Creek, a production superintendent looking after all the production, engineering, geology, and then later the environmental department. And then we left. went to Ontario, bought a whole bunch of land near Peterborough,
Yep.
and we're going to build a retirement home there. And I was liking it. I was disliking it. I was liking it and disliking it. And finally, I said, no, I don't want to do this. I think I want to go home to Dawson. While my wife danced a little jig, and we threw our cats and our suitcases back in the car. And we left in October 2002, and we came across the border of Yukon. And we said, yay. In August 2003, bought a house in Dawson and retired there.
Because you enjoyed retirement then?
Have I? Yes.
Even with being a councillor and now mayor?
Well, yeah, I'm kind of out of retirement, if you will, being the damn mayor, because it's a lot more time that's required, because you're the head honcho type thing, and so the head honcho out at Brewery Creek, which meant a whole stack of extra things. So it meant a whole stack of extra things, and I'm just getting back into that kind of swing of things. Because I've been rusty. I've been out of the municipal end of things for 3 years. I took a 3-year holiday because the last guy got more votes than I did.
But you got more votes this time.
Yeah, a few more.
You got a few more votes this time, and you are now in the mayor's chair. Yep. But you look at yourself more as a equal among your council members. You have the title only.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they can gang up. I mean, there's like 4-1, You got to work together.
So I've got a very simple question, but it's a very big one that leads into the next set of questions.
Okay.
After your 3 terms in office, you're now mayor.
No, it's actually 4.
4 terms in office, and now you're mayor.
Yeah.
You have probably come to the realization.
I'm an idiot.
I didn't say it, you did. But not 100% of the people in your community will ever agree on the decisions you make.
Yeah, well, that's too bad. That's their fault, not mine.
So how do you make decisions knowing that?
No,
because you have
really, life has been very good to me.
Yeah.
And people have been very good to me as a young person. And so my focus is on the young people of Dawson City and the people that work in the service industries, the people who service the community, the people in the bars, the people in the restaurants, the people in the hotels, the people in the stores and whatnot, all good folks. And, they don't make the kind of money that basically government people do. And so my focus is on that crowd. And what I want to do for that crowd is give them a chance to get a piece of this Dawson action. Because Dawson is just a wonderful, wonderful place. And people come there from all kinds of different places in the world for all kinds of goofy reasons. And they love it. And they stay. And sometimes they go. And they go, why did I go? I'm coming back. And they come back. Well, what are they coming back to? Are they coming back to their own chunk of land? Their own little chunk of Dawson? No, they haven't had that opportunity. And that's what I want to bloody well give them in this term in office, is try to work with my government friends in Yukon government, the good folks, and work with them to create lots for people to build on. All different sizes of lots, a small lot to start off with, and somebody could build a small house, You got to get a start somewhere. And this is really what I want to do for these folks. If that can be my legacy, I'm going to be thrilled, absolutely thrilled that I've helped these young people out, or these people in the service industry, get a piece of Dawson City for themselves. Rather than having to pay ridiculous rents and whatnot, just get a chunk of land for themselves and grow from there.
You get elected mayor, and I talked to you about this last night, and I asked if you'd be comfortable talking about it, but Dawson City made some international news when you first got elected. When
it sure did. Oh, my goodness.
Like from BBC to CNN, Dawson City was on the map if it wasn't
to
already.
Saudi Arabia news.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Your entire council decided not to pledge allegiance to or swear an oath to the King of Canada, King Charles III.
Correct.
But you decided to swear an allegiance to the Constitution.
Yes.
And I got to make sure I ask this question correctly. there was a lot of speculation of what this was all about, why you did this. But
Yep.
can you put the record straight right here, right now, from the mayor's mouth to the people who's listening to this? What was that decision based on?
The decision was based on working together. And we had a counselor who was uncomfortable. Well, no, there was two. In our orientation session, you know how you get vibes from people?
Yep.
You know, body language is saying something without somebody actually saying words. I was getting body language from two new members of council. And the four members of council, they're all brand spanking new councilors. You know, I'm the only one with past experience in council. And the previous council had difficulties. It's really unfortunate. And I didn't want to see that with this council. I wanted these members to feel like they were really important to the community. They're really important to each other. And how can we work together? There's a big generation gap. I mean, I'm an old guy, and all these other folks are young, and which is great because they all come with all kinds of great and wonderful enthusiasm and ideas and whatnot. How can we work this thing together? And so, with a member who was uncomfortable with swearing allegiance to the king, I thought about that, and I thought, you know, as much as I like the royal family, as much as in the past I've sworn allegiance to Her Majesty the Queen, not only in the council, but also as a member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police when I was an auxiliary constable. And I thought about that, and I thought, I want to make this guy comfortable. And so I'm going to be with him. And then I thought, okay, I am not going to swear allegiance to one person. Down in the United States of America, there's one person who wants everybody to swear allegiance to that one person and not the Constitution of the United States. It's a real shame, but that's what I see.
Yeah.
It's really too bad. So I started calling my council colleagues. The first person I called after speaking with Darwin, because I'd seen that body language, and I told that counselor what I was planning to do, and that counselor said, yes, I'm there. And then I called another counselor, and I said, this is what I'm going to do. And he said, absolutely, I am there. And the last counselor was in Switzerland visiting relatives, and by email, I told what I was going to do, and absolutely. So the five of us said, no, we're not doing that. And we had 40 days to swear our two oaths. One's an oath of office, and the other is an oath of allegiance. Yes. So that put the government, and God love them, they were tremendous. Samantha Crosby, Director of Community Service, just wonderful person, and her team, they worked and they put together something that made a lot of sense. And I have to hand it to the Yukon government, the cabinet ministers, and to Richard Mawson, who had to carry this really tough problem forward to cabinet, say, these folks are going to bag it unless we do something. So let's do something really good. And they did something really good. They gave the option, and they put the two oaths together. They gave the option of an oath of allegiance to the Constitution, the laws of Canada, and the laws of Yukon, or oath of allegiance to the monarch. Now, if you look at the Constitution says the monarch is the executive of Canada. So it's all binding in one thing. Rather than swearing an oath of allegiance to one person, I am swearing allegiance to a bigger idea. And that is the Constitution of this country.
I'm cautious of time because we're at the 50th anniversary of the Association of Yukon Communities.
Yay.
And they're about to get back here.
Yep.
But I want to ask you a very open-ended question, because people who are listening to this, people who are watching this might think to themselves, why should I come to Dawson City?
Oh, man.
Why should people come see what Dawson City has to offer?
Oh, man, good grief. It's the most wonderful little place in the world. We fell in love with it and came back retired there. as many people have done. People have come to Dawson City for a 2-week holiday, and 20 years later, they're still there. It's because of the community. It's because of its location. It's because of the First Nations there. Wonderful folks. And, we're all crazy being there, minus 40 and minus 45 and 50 in the wintertime. But, man, why the heck not? In terms of weather, I'd rather be there at minus 40 than down in Kingston at minus 20 and humid. Because that humidity just goes straight through to you. And gosh, it's like cottage country for myself and my wife. Why would you want to leave cottage country?
And I hear you have to kiss the toe or drink the toe, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you don't. And I have not done it, and I'm not going to do it. Thank you very much. A lot of people like to do that, and it's a great thing to watch. But you can go ahead and do it. No, I'm not going to do it. Thank you.
Okay, so the mayor didn't do it, so no one else has to do it. There you go.
No, yes, everybody has to do it except the mayor.
That's by executive order.
Right. Well, what I want to add is that, I look at the Yukon as a jewel in Canada. And I think that Dawson City is the gold that holds that jewel in place. So just that is enough for someone to say, oh my goodness, well, that's interesting. I better have a look at that and see what this is all about.
Go.
Yeah, that's right.
My final question for you is, what makes Dawson City such a unique place to live, work, and raise a family?
Oh, golly. One of the great things for me, what was my job? 70 kilometers out of town and getting to know the town, with my job. The folks there, the First Nations there. And, I just love the First Nations there. The thing I love about it is they're inclusive.
Yep.
That's tremendous. That is absolutely tremendous. And the locale, it's lovely. The mining in the area, fantastic. I like to fly, so I learned to fly a paraglider in Dawson.
Wow.
I'm a glider pilot. And a Transport Canada rated instructor in gliders. But I didn't have that there, but I saw this guy flying a paraglider. I thought, I want to learn that. And, it's just a wonderful launch site. So that was another thing that really attracted me. But the goings on in town, too. A great place to walk around. The trail system we have now in Dawson is excellent. And very, very pleased with that, because a lot of people come to Dawson for the trails.
I'll have to come back up.
You're going to have to come back up.
Man,
yeah.
Thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
We want to thank everyone for tuning in for another episode of Cross Border Interviews. Now, we hope you've enjoyed today's episode and gained some valuable insights into the world of Yukon municipalities. We also want to take a moment and thank those who made the trip up to Haines Junction, Yukon, a massive success. And to the team at the Association of Yukon Communities for having us during the 3-day convention in Haines Junction. We look forward to being back in the Yukon later on this year for the territorial elections. Now, to stay in the loop with all of the latest episodes, don't forget to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube, and follow us on social media. For even more content and learn more about the stories and people we feature on this show and our sister shows, visit us online at crossborderinterviews.ca. Now, your support means the world to us, so share this episode with your friends, your family, and yes, even your community, and help keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you next time on Cross Border Interviews. Till then, everyone.